the Lotus team that were Renault last year, and they've changed it to Lotus. Quite a big noise about them just now because they've actually taken back Kimi Räikkönen, who actually was the last Ferrari driver to win the World Championship in 2007. He actually left the sport at the end of 2009 season to try his hand at rallying and also NASCAR last year. He's known as the Iceman in sport, and many believe he's actually out of his depth now. It's quite difficult to go out of the sport for 2 years and actually come back. He would be keen to prove them wrong. Looked very strong in testing, man, you saying that, but as I said before, with the Williams team, testing doesn't mean much when it comes down to the actual race season. His partner is the test driver, Roman. He's been promoted to F1 driver, Roman Grosjean. I'll get that right before the end of the season, surely. He's 25 and he's Swiss. He's actually, his last race was Abu Dhabi in 2009, and he's only been in 7 F1 races, so he's very much a rookie. But with driver Kimi Räikkönen, though, he'll keep him right. Here we have the Germans of Mercedes-Benz. They actually had their own constructor team in the 1954 and 1955 seasons, and was actually won both championships with Juan Manuel Fangio, but then they left the sport after that, and were just then usually just using the engines to help other constructors, i.e. likes of Mercedes. But in 2010 they went back in the sport as a constructor again. The name is the World Mercedes F1 last year, but they're now Mercedes AGM. Also the driver lineup of Michael Schumacher and Nico Rosberg. Many predicted strong things from this team when they entered the sport in 2010, but they're still nowhere near, no closer to a race victory, never mind challenging for championships on a drivers or constructors front. Though the highlights last year was really Schumacher getting 4th in Canada and Nico qualifying 3rd in Turkey. Quite disappointing, massively underachieved, especially the talent they have, with Ross Brawn as well being the team leader there. Expecting more from this team. Many say this year they'll make a step up. Can't see them, they won't be challenging for World Championships, but they have to be looking to certainly get now wins under the belts. Michael Schumacher on the right there doesn't need much introduction. He's statistically the most successful driver in F1 history, Formula 1 history. He's won the World Championship 7 times, that's a record in itself. 91 wins as well, which is a record in itself, and many other records. His last win came in China in 2006 when he was driving for the Ferrari team, and his last World Championship was in 2004, so 8 years. He's now 43. Many question he's still got the capability of winning a race. Certainly mentality is still there, but can he actually do it physically? His teammate is actually 17 years his youth. Nico Rosberg is 26 and has had 108 races with 5 podiums and 306.5 points, but still to taste race victory. On we come now to the Ferrari team. Ferrari are the most team under constant pressure all the time due to the fanatical fans in Italy. They haven't won a World Championship, Drivers' Championship since 2007, and they haven't won the Constructors since 2008. Even though they were seconds from coming to win the World Drivers' Championship in 2008 with Felipe Massa, who basically won the last race and had to hope that Lewis Hamilton came 6th or lower in that race. Lewis Hamilton was 6th going into the last lap and just overtook the 5th place car on the last lap at Interlagos there too, and just with seconds to spare. Really very dramatic finish. Ever since then, Felipe had a bad accident in Hungary in 2009 where he was knocked unconscious as he was following Rubens Barrichello's Brawn car in qualifying, and a bit came over and smacked Massa right in the head and knocked him unconscious, and he crashed out of qualifying. Didn't race again that season, came back the year after, but hasn't been the same driver since. Many question now his ability now. Many say this will probably be his last season at Ferrari unless he actually does up his game quite substantially. Didn't even get a podium last year. Fernando only got to 1-1 last year. The car vastly underperformed. Fernando being a two-time world champion, winner in 05 and 06 with Renault. He'd be certainly determined to get be challenging again this year. Mercedes were the only team that realistically were challenging Red Bull last year for race wins. Speed wise anyway, Ferrari would only really be in contention when it came to strategies not working out for the top two. 6 wins in total out of 19 races doesn't sound, it's actually doesn't sound a lot for a top 2 team, because you know how dominant Red Bull last year. It was quite a bit. Obviously a lot of chance on the right. They had 2009 world champion in the Brawn team, and Lewis 2008 world champion with McLaren there all his life. Last year's the first time Lewis actually had lost to a teammate in his F1 career. Jenson now deemed to be the favoured team leader. If there is a team leader at McLaren like to favour the drivers. This is going to be a quite interesting year for them. They are the only, to see if they can actually up the game and actually challenge Red Bull to an actual proper contest. Also going to be another Red Bull domination. Here are the team in question. Red Bull, phenomenal from them last year, completely dominated the field. They actually had 12 wins from 19. McLaren were the other 6, and Ferrari being the one with Alonso. 18 poles out of 19. The only time they didn't get in pole was when Lewis Hamilton got pole position in Korea, but they still went on to win the race, so it didn't make much difference. Won at the World Drivers' Championship twice now with Vettel, and also won at the Constructors' Championship twice as well in the same years, 2010 2011. Mark Webber will obviously be hoping now, after being completely dominated and overshadowed by his teammate this year, to have a more successful season. Only won one race last year, and that was the last race. Many believing that was due to basically Vettel letting him by halfway through the race with a unusual, mysterious gearbox problem that Vettel seemed to have had, and then also all of a sudden cured itself. He was leaving most of the races in 2010, but fought in the last two to miss out to this man here, double world champion, and also failed to take this year's world championship as well. If he does, it would be only the 3rd driver in history to take 3 consecutive world championships, the other 2 being Fangio and Michael Schumacher. That's my review of the F1 season. I'll be doing reviews of all races, and please leave comments and discussions if you greatly invited, and hopefully by next end of the year we'll be talking about another great F1 season. Okay, cheers, bye bye.